Hey, family, and welcome back to another episode of Faith and Fun Podcast. The guest that I have today, as y'all already know, I say this with every guest that I'm super excited to have them. But this guest, I think, is one of my favorite guests. I've known her all my life, and I've seen her grow. I feel like I'm so old. And she's also seen me grow, but
For
I'm
sure.
so proud to have her on the podcast, Miss Tatiana Barnes Gaither.
Hi, I'm super excited to be
Thank
here.
you for being here.
Thank you for having me. No,
Oh, no
honestly,
problem.
truly an honor. Was not a thought process when you asked me to be here, for
Oh,
sure.
so I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
Welcome.
So I know that I usually have a bio for everyone, and we talked off camera, and you said that God has you in this stripping phase where He's stripping you from all titles. Can we talk about that?
We absolutely can. So I know it is of the norm for you
Yeah.
to read a bio and all that good stuff. And do I have the accolades? Do I have the titles? For sure. And I went back and forth with God. He kept saying, no titles. I was like, but I got a couple, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It was like, no titles. We're removing that from you. I want people to see just me. I said, okay. I've been in this pruning season for some time, since November of last year to be exact. And God is removing me from everything that I know, all familiarity. And so He's introducing me into a version of myself I don't know. And it's new. I
Mm-hmm.
like it.
Yeah.
Scary. It's just so new that it has me fearful just a little bit,
Mm.
if I'm completely honest. But he said, no titles, no accolades, give the people me. So that's what I'm here for.
So what do you think is this stripping phase preparing you for, or why do you think that it had to happen now?
A newness and a change. If I'm completely honest, it was supposed to happen a couple years ago.
Mm.
A little disobedience. Because let me tell you something, when God talks to you, that heart tug, that nudge,
Mm-hmm.
that consistent speaking of the Holy Spirit, it don't go away. You
Mm-mm.
can try to, avoid it,
Yeah.
try to act like you don't hear it. But I tell people, I don't have no problem hearing from God.
Mm-mm.
When God speaks, I try to move out. In all honesty, I do. And I tend to be obedient. But there are some things that have me like, God ain't ready. And so now, God will do something that'll make you.
Mm.
He sat me down. I had no choice. So it was, like I said, it was supposed to happen a couple years ago, but God now has me being a steward of what's in front of me. I
Mm-hmm.
was getting too far ahead. I was doing the planning of just, I'm such a planner just by nature. I was looking 5 years into my life, 10 years. God said, look and see what's right in front of you, because you're missing what's right in front of you. And
Mm.
so in order to do that, He had to take some things away from me.
Yeah.
So I'm in a season of loss. And I know most people think like losing things is bad, and it can be, but so far it's been good. It
Yeah.
really has been scary,
Yeah.
but good.
Yeah. It's almost like my pastor would tell me all the time, "You're on the water," and she was like, "Peter, you're on the water, and if you look down, you're gonna mess up." So she said, "You have to take instructions by God because you don't know where you at. You're in this place you've never been before. You don't know anything that's going on. You literally are
Mhm.
like, okay, God, you say take a step forward, take a step forward.
Mhm.
You say stop. So it's like you trust them, but yeah, you real scared because anything that we're not used to, we're afraid of.
For sure. The
I know,
unknown, right?
yeah,
The unknown.
and for
Mhm.
failure, and because I'm the same way. I like to know what I'm doing before I do it, and if it's gonna be too hard, I don't want
Control
to.
issues. Gots to know what she doing.
Yeah, because I don't want to. If I don't know what I'm doing, I need to make sure that I can handle it.
Mhm.
And I feel like God has me in a place to know if you can handle it, you don't need me.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's where I'm at, and like I said, it's new. It's got me fearful, but God is literally introducing me to a version of myself I do not know.
Hmm.
And so I welcome it. I wasn't like this in the beginning. It's been some months,
Yeah,
but now I welcome it.
yeah.
Hmm.
And I think it's because you know that His plans are greater than yours.
Obedience brings blessings,
Yeah, and you've
for
seen,
sure.
yeah, and you've seen,
Absolutely.
His hand. So it's like, okay, I can trust you.
Hmm.
I've seen what you've done for me already. Yeah. So, can you share a personal story where your faith guided you through a challenging time?
I'll give you my most recent
Mm.
challenge when I speak about November 8th specifically. I won't forget the date of last year, 2024. I lost my job. It was due. I was got laid off due to job elimination, and you couldn't have not prepared me for that day. Clocked in as regular, doing my job duties as regular. I get an email that says you have a meeting. Go to the meeting. 5-minute video. Says today is your last day. I thought it was like one of those scams, like
Yeah.
you're not supposed to click on it.
Yeah.
Thought it was one of them. So I was like taken aback. A little bit later, my husband was like, "Hey, how's your day going?" I'm like, "I think I just got fired. I don't know how my day's
Yeah,
going.
right,
I
right.
really don't know." But yeah, that was a true story. Literally, that was my last day clocking in on November 8th. And if I'm honest, I was not happy at my job. And I might have put that out into the atmosphere too
Yeah.
much. I just wasn't fulfilled. It paid my bills, provided me the lifestyle I have, but I wasn't happy, was not fulfilled. And I would have this conversation with a friend that if God want me to leave my job, He gonna have to take me from it.
Mm.
Did it? Did just that? Okay, God. And I didn't realize how much my job, how it just, I had placed too much value in it.
Mm.
If you know anything about corporate, for those who work corporate, you may understand it's a game. I got a good title, I got a good paying job. It was great, but there was no fulfillment. I was not happy at my job at all, but I did my work and I did it well. And like I said, I don't know if I spoke that too much, and I said, God, if you don't want me there, you're gonna take me from it. And He did just that, but He didn't give me the plan that's supposed to happen afterwards. So I was kind of lost. Like I was my job. I thought I was. I didn't know who I was outside of my job. Another thing, He took that title from me. I said, okay. I have no choice but to trust God. I'm a woman of faith.
Yeah.
And if I didn't, then I wouldn't be being faithful. I wouldn't be believing the things that I pray about every day, talk about every day. So I had no choice but to move in faith. But I was like, okay, you know how to hear from God. You know what you're supposed to do. I got in my prayer closet every single day. I pulled back. I lost my social media except TikTok. TikTok don't count. I pulled away from all those things. I'm in my prayer closet every single day. I heard God say, create. Okay, God. Create what?
Right,
He
right.
gave me the
Yeah.
word, and this is still like I can't give you my testimony because I'm still taking the test. I am in it right now. So I can't tell you the end game. I know it's gonna be God's way, God's will, but I don't know. So God gave me the word create. So I'm working on that, and he stripped that from me. So I am in that challenging time right now as we speak. And I'm using my faith every single day because I'll be completely honest, that first month was rough. I didn't know if I was coming or going. I still go back to those days. However, I don't let the devil take control of my mind. An idle mind is the devil's playground, and we don't play those games here. So I stay in my word every single day. I have no choice.
Yeah.
I have no choice because I don't know who I would be if I didn't. Like that version of me, I always gonna know. I pray I always know her because I gotta stay grounded in my
Yeah.
faith. So I am going through that challenging time right now, and my faith is getting me through every single day. Because I have some days where the devil try to say this and say that. It just don't work. I confuse the enemy because I'm gonna play my praise
Right,
music.
right.
You got to leave here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna shift the atmosphere. I believe in being a atmosphere shifter.
Right.
So I set myself up for that.
I think it's safe to say that I always knew that you would be. I was going to my throat, but you would always be like bigger than a job because you're like this. You're everybody's favorite person.
I am, and I know that. And here's the thing with being everybody's favorite. Like I love it because I tell you, I'm God's favorite first.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
God don't play about me, and I put that up to anybody. He don't play about me. I am God's favorite, and I love being everybody's favorite person. That's cool. It really is. But right now, I'm being my favorite person because I'm having to take care of me. And don't get me wrong, when I do things for other people, I do for myself too. Like I'm not one of those people that like talk about pouring from an empty cup. I do take care of me first. That's just how I am. However, this time I'm not gonna be pouring at all. You're gonna have to receive my overflow. If you get it, you get it. If you don't, you don't. And that's just, I'm telling you, this is a new version of me. People are going to see, I show up for everything and everybody. I will go to 5 events in one day. You know that about me.
Yeah.
Everybody be like, where you finna go next? I just do. I do. But this point in my life, this season of my life, God said, stop.
Mm-hmm.
Don't do all that. But that doing all that is all I know.
Yeah.
Doing the most,
Yeah.
showing up, that's all I know.
Yeah.
So this is a new version. So and I like sitting at home.
Yeah.
I got a beautiful house. I
Yeah.
love it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? But I'm not used to being there.
Yeah.
I'm used to being outside.
Yeah.
In a
Literally.
good way.
Yes.
I love being
Outside,
outside.
different events, a different outfit for every
For
event.
every single
That's been you ever
one.
since I've known you.
That's all I know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know no other version of me except for the one God is introducing to me right
Yeah.
now. And a little bit of her is peeling back a different layer every single day.
Yeah.
And like I say I'm in it right now. So
Yeah. It's like a paint stroke is being painted every day, and you won't see the bigger picture until like a little while from now, and you'll step back and be like, okay,
I hope I see it soon.
yeah,
That'd be nice, right? Ideally,
yeah,
I like to see it soon. But however long he takes, I trust him.
yeah,
I truthfully and honestly and wholeheartedly trust him. So
yeah. And I feel like it was needed though, because I often say people pull on everybody who pours, but nobody pours back into them. And I
say that.
think that you needed to just take a break because you was always going, and being there for everybody else. And I
And
don't,
it's not that I don't have people that aren't there
yeah,
for me. Let me not dare say that. However, I don't have a me in my life, if I can say that.
mm,
I don't.
wow,
So I know everybody has this, like you said, oh, I see you bigger than a job, and everybody can see it, but I can't see it. So I
really,
think that's why. No, I didn't mind working for the white man. Can I say that? I hope that's okay. I didn't mind clocking into my corporate job, climbing the ladder. I was cool for that. Everybody has this entrepreneur dreams for myself, and I dibble and dabble in those things for sure. But I feel like everybody has it for me, and I don't have it for myself. So maybe that's why I could
yeah,
have just had a revelation right now.
yeah.
God is saying, I want you to see it for yourself.
Ooh, see what everybody else see. Yeah,
And what he sees ultimately.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That's gonna be good. I can't wait to see what it comes out to.
Me too.
I know it's gonna be good. Just thinking of
I know
create
it'll be good.
because I know it's gonna be something that we haven't seen before. Because like your special touch is gonna be on it. That's gonna be good. That's gonna be good.
Wait and
So
see.
yeah, how has your relationship with God influenced your approach to mentorship?
Back in, what was the year? 2015, I believe. A pivotal year for me. What was I 10 years ago? 25. So um, God had been telling me, girls are watching you. They're looking up to you. My niece, and then I have a young cousin who didn't go home, who used to live with me and my parents. They followed everything I did. So I was very aware that they were watching me. And I'm talking about like a hawk. Like everything I did, they wanted to do. And I was just able to introduce them into so many firsts. And so I literally sat and asked God, I was like, what do you want me to do? I had people inboxing me, I want my daughter to be just like you.
Mm,
I kid you not. Heavy is the head that wears the crown. I mean, I'm flattered, but that's a big shoe to feel
yeah.
like I want them to be better than me. I think I'm great
Mm-hmm.
by all means, but I want my daughter to be like you. And it wasn't just one, it was several. And I said, okay, what do you want me to do with this? I don't want to be vain. I don't want them to just think that I just got this just because I'm just this great person. And so he gave me a mentor group. He told me to use the girls that are in my church. I had 9 young ladies that attended my home church. And I went to my dad and I told him what I want to do. He was on board. My group, I said, I love fashion. I love God. How do I incorporate the two? So he gave me Prada. That was the acronym. So it was praising. Let me say God, because people praise all kind of things. Praising God radically, actively, dutifully, and accordingly. I gathered the girls, told them what I wanted to do. They were all on board. I can remember our first field trip. Took my daddy's Tahoe. I know Tahoe seats 9, but it was 10 of us, including myself. And we went to the movies in Rock Hill. And there was this guy. I had our shirts, and then our Bible verse was 1 Timothy 4:12. Letting them know that just because you're young, that doesn't mean anything. Like, you still stand on the word. And this guy was like, wow, you're doing something amazing. And me, I'm just like, this was all in my head. I funded it myself. I got the girls' shirts made myself. Bought their movie tickets. I don't know what Christian movie was out at that time in 2015, but we went to the movies. I was like, okay, we're making a little noise.
Yeah, yeah.
By this time, I was posting on social media. Everybody was, applauding me. The support was there, but it got a bit overwhelming. I'm one person. I was just a one woman army, which is my problem now. I tend to do that, but another story for another day. And I was like, this is overwhelming. Like I want to have a one-on-one relationship with each girl. I want to talk to them about Christ, and we did it in group settings, but I want to make sure I also spend that one-on-one time with
Right.
them. So a friend of mine had posted that she was going to start a mentor group. My ram in the bush. I call her that, and I tell her that was my ram in the bush. I was like, well, I got the girls.
Yeah, yeah.
So I kind of married them, which is now to Call Me Beauty Mentoring, which is a 501(c) nonprofit organization in Lancaster, South Carolina, and it's been going 10 years strong. I sit on the board as a co-chair, so I incorporate faith into my mentor group from the day I started back in 2015. I'm still a mentor to this day, and it's just important to let girls know. I know y'all like my life, and it is great, it is grand, but I'm letting you know why I have this life, and that's more important than anything. And through that, I've had someone that met the Lord and joined Christ, and you can't tell me nothing because I got somebody going to heaven because of me. So listen, day has been made. I thank God if that was the only reason why I was supposed to start it back in 2015 for that young soul to be saved. Mission accomplished.
Yeah.
Mission accomplished.
Yeah. That's so good because you do live a very good life publicly. And I know for myself that a lot of people are watching you.
For sure.
And a lot of people know you. And because it's one thing to live this grand life, but it's also another thing to live this grand life with God. And you're doing that. And so it's grabbing attention to a lot of people. And one thing you said was that somebody inboxed you and said they want their daughter to be just like you. And I often would say, growing up, I wanted to be just like people. And I think one of my family members told me, they was like, no, because you don't know what they had to go through.
Heavy is the head that wears the crown.
You don't know what they had to deal with or what they had to sacrifice or suffer. And it's like, you come made up beautifully every time you step out.
Thank you.
But it's like, and that's one of the reasons I started a podcast, because I want to get behind the layers.
I be raggedy at home. Just a little bit. Just a little bit.
But I want to get behind the layers, because everybody sees one thing, but nobody know what it takes to show up and to be this person and to be you. So that's why I have you here today, because I want people to see what it takes to be Tad. Because they think that they just see the picture, the video, the outside, but they don't know the sacrifices.
Well, let me just say, I'm what I'm supposed to be, P-O-S-T. I don't do that faking, that fake pumping. I faith it till I make it, but I ain't no fake it till I make it.
Yeah.
What you see is what you get.
Yeah.
I am very consistent in who I am.
Yeah.
However, just behind closed doors, you don't see the intercessor that I am. And when I tell you I'm a praying woman, I can't wait to be the mother of a church, okay? Because I'm a praying woman. Do you hear me?
Yeah.
God wake me up at 4 o'clock in the morning. I know what time it is, and I be sleepy. God, get up. You know what time it is. You got work to do. Go in that closet. I cover people like I don't know.
Yeah.
It is, I'm telling you. So you can want to be me. I don't want you to be me. I love being me. But it is some work behind closed doors. Do you know what it's like when God wakes you up and tells you to message this person? Somebody ain't never known. People look at you weird. People are not receptive of that. Always, some are, some aren't. God will tell me, I want you to message 20 women today. Specific. He's so specific with me. I know I've been walking my purpose a long time. And I like to throw events. I did a Mother Day event at my house. God told me specifically invite 30 women. I did just that. And I always, I didn't know what I was doing when I was in it, of course. But afterwards, I got that. I wasn't going to come today, but I needed to. I needed to hear that today. You at my house? How you knew that? So I do receive that for my confirmation, but when I'm in it, I'm telling you, God woke me up one day and was like, I need you to message this person and give them this message. I did it. Did not know this person. Found them on Facebook. And I don't even know if they liked it. They might have said okay. But I felt like I wanted a bigger...
Yeah.
Oh, yes, I was looking for that. I ain't get that. God had to check me. That's not for you. And sometimes we have to just do what He says and let it be.
Yeah.
And that's hard.
Yeah.
That's
That's some of
hard.
my problems too. It's like when he'll tell me to do something or say something, and I tell the person, and they just look at me like I'm crazy. I'm like,
We want something bigger, right?
well, then
Do a
I'm like,
cartwheel.
well, am I right? Like, and they
But
just
that's
be
not
like,
for us to know.
thank you, and I'm like,
That's not for
yeah.
us.
I think it's a humbling experience because I feel like
Yes.
if they respond, I'll be like, ooh, okay, 1 point for me. But the
Uh-huh.
whole time, God, like, no, 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 no,
Mm-mm.
1 point for me.
It has to be glory
I just
driven.
had to send you to do it.
It has to be glory driven for
Yeah.
sure. It's not for us. And God has checked me through so many points in my life like that, or humbling me, as you may want to call it. But there was a long time ago. I do a lot of stuff now. I don't post it. I
Mm-hmm.
don't talk about it because it's not for me. But when I used to do it in the beginning, I wanted to be recognized. I wanted to be acknowledged. It was me that did it. It was me that made that donation. It was me that was out here serving. God said, you're doing it for the wrong reason. Check your heart posture. And I check my heart posture in everything I do now. Because if I'm doing it to be noticed, I'm not doing it from the right place.
Yeah.
So now, again, removing those titles, God is supposed to get the glory, not me. It's on the account of Him. So that's where I'm at now. It's not about getting no praise or anything about that at all. It's for Him and for Him only.
Yeah. And I believe that's why he's taking care of you the way he is.
I truly
'Cause
believe
you,
it, and I pay my tithes.
yeah,
I
and
believe
you
that's
learn
why.
the recipe. Yeah, that too.
For
Yeah,
sure.
and because
For
you're humble
sure.
with it, and he said, if as long as you're humble, I'll do the exalting. I'll do the rest. Just make sure that you
I
point
believe
everybody
that.
back to me. That's good. That's good. And I know firsthand about you reaching out to pray because it was like 1 week. I don't know what that was a heavy week, and you text me, it was like, "Is there anything that you need me to pray for?" I said, "Well, Lord, I thank you."
It be all God, and that happens almost daily. Daily, just different groups of people. And maybe because I do ask for it. God, who do you need me to reach today? And He tells me. And some days it be just myself. Lately, I've been sitting in the season with myself, but it'll be like I said. I reach out to 20 group of women, check on these people. Sometimes it's just that one person. Sometimes it's strangers, or I'm in a line with somebody. Pay for that person's stuff. Pray for them. And you can be looked at weird, and you don't want to be looked as the weirdo, but it be like that
Yeah,
sometimes. So, listen, I'm just out here
yeah,
trying to do God's work and
right,
look good while doing
right.
it.
It's almost like one of those things to where I don't want to do it, but I'm afraid if I don't do it,
Oh
I'm
yeah,
afraid of what he gonna
the
do.
consequence. Because I told you I
Yeah,
was supposed to do this 2 years ago. Stewardship,
yeah. It's like if you don't do it voluntarily, he gonna make you do it.
absolutely.
Because at the end of the day, his
Living it
will,
firsthand, His
yeah,
will and His way. Let's not
got to
forget
be
that,
done.
because we say God's will a lot of times, but not God's way. We do God's will, want to do it our way. Well, I tried to do it my way 2 years ago. So now I'm stepping into God's will, God's way. Help me see it the way you see it,
That's
God.
good. That's so good. Oh, that's real good. So, what are some misconceptions people have about being a young, faith-filled Christian who enjoys having fun? Because when I think about faith and fun, I think about you. You are faith and you are fun.
Let's talk about the misconception of being a PK first.
Ooh, yeah. Let's talk about it. Help
I'm
the
a
people.
preacher's kid, and all the misconceptions is I'm a whore. I'm out here just thotting and bopping and
Yeah,
all the good
yeah.
stuff, and that's not true. Now, granted, it is some, but I'm the one. I'm trying to be the example, okay? I'm trying. It's hard out here because of all the people that are. But all the things that I can't. I've been a PK all my life, so I don't know if somebody and I don't know who the somebody is. The church maybe, they place you on this invisible pedestal because you're the preacher's kid. You can't do X, Y, Z. But shouldn't it be just because you're a child of God? But I got placed on this pedestal. I can't step out of line. And I'm be honest, that has been with me my entire life to now. Like I have this perfectionism, which is an unreal thing that is on me that won't get off of me, but it is what it is. Now I've just learned to live with it. But you just gotta be on the straight and narrow. You can't do anything outside of the norm. You can't show a little shoulder. You can't wear something above the knee. You can't have a boyfriend. I mean, granted, isn't everybody supposed to be held to that
Yeah,
standard? But why the
yeah,
PK
yeah,
got to be held to that
yeah.
standard? So those misconceptions at first. And then as I've gotten older, because I push the envelope with my fashion for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But I be respectful, and God ain't never convicted me of anything I've
Mm-hmm.
ever wore to church.
Mm-hmm.
But I've had some people that somebody very well, tried to say a little something about something I had on, but I ain't have to say nothing. Everybody around had checked us so fast. And I believe in letting the Lord do my work, child. The Lord said the vengeance is mine. And I truly believe that. So people always trying to check me like, why can't I wear what I want to wear, look good, serving the Lord? I'm gonna have fun. I'm always gonna give point the glory back to Him every single time. I ain't missing the mark with it.
Mm-hmm.
This is all because of God. Hear me when
Mm-hmm.
I say, and I'm just out here living my life,
Yeah.
and I'm thankful to God of the life I have. Shout out to my mom and daddy.
Yeah.
First and foremost,
Yeah.
Reverend Barnes, Joyce Barnes. They have set the blueprint for me. I had an amazing life growing up. I'm not going to hold you. I ain't go front that my life was not amazing because
Mm-hmm.
it was. They did their big one.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to God and them. So, I can really say the first 20, maybe 25 years of my life, I ain't had no real struggles, no trauma. I ain't trying to. I had my daddy in my life.
Yeah.
I don't have daddy issues. I don't have trauma that I'm trying to take care of in my adulthood.
Mm-hmm.
And I struggled with that because when I would meet girls, I felt like I didn't fit in. They had daddy issues. They had trauma that they were trying to, and I couldn't relate. So I thought something was wrong with me. Like, why am I trying to make there be an issue and there is no
Right.
issue?
Right.
Crazy, right?
Yeah.
But I didn't fit in. Like, I couldn't join in the conversation. And
Mm-hmm.
that was a real thing for me. But what the old people say, just keep on living.
Ooh.
Problem number one came. God, I don't want it. Take me back. You know what
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
saying? So I struggled with not being relatable to
Mm-hmm.
circles I was in because I didn't have per se like issues.
Mm-hmm.
But I
Mm-hmm.
kept on living. They here now. They showed up. Okay, I
Yeah.
get it. But I struggled with that growing up. So there's just so many different misconceptions. But I'm just authentically me.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't like it, leave. I ain't gonna ever stop being me. And
Mm-hmm.
that's one thing. Like I walk in every room like God sent me,
That's it.
and that ain't gonna change.
Yeah.
If you don't like it, I don't know what to tell you. Take it up with the Lord Himself, okay? Because I'm not changing.
Yeah. And I think that's what the world now needs to see. Authentic people. Not people who, don't post their problems on Facebook or don't post their struggles, but then struggle in private.
Hmm.
Because it's people out here that are trying to be young, vibrant, fun, and faith filled. But they don't know how because of
Hmm.
so much is being said, because of how they're being talked about over here. And you're setting the example. And there's so many people watching you that don't even tell you that they're watching you, but you're giving them hope. Like, okay, it can be done.
For sure. Just be yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that's easier said than done. But be yourself and ask God to reveal who your true self is if you're unaware. Because there are people who
Mm.
don't know who they are, right?
Yeah.
I stepped into my purpose years ago. So I'm very confident in the woman I am now, right? But there were times where I had to ask God, like, show me who it is I'm supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
Show me through your lens, right? And He made those doors open, and I walk confidently in who I am. So anybody that's struggling, ask God who it is, who you're supposed to be. Pray about that thing. God will show Himself to you. I promise you, He
Mm-hmm.
will. Stay in
Mm-hmm.
your word. He will show you
Mm-hmm.
for sure.
So this next question isn't on a thing, but it's not a bad question. It's about your fashion.
Okay.
When did it all? What made you be so broad and like, different with your fashion?
I've been this way since I was little. Like my mama will
Really?
tell you. And I don't know if a lot of people know, my mom and daddy really are fashionistas. Like they ain't like me because I push the envelope, but they are some fashionistas.
Mm-hmm.
Like my sister has this running joke about my dad that he don't know how to dress down.
Mm-hmm.
Cause he gonna go to the game in chinos, and she's
Yeah.
like, "Do you know how to put on sweatpants? Like, can you calm down?" But we don't know how to not dress up. There's
Yeah.
no in between. It's literally in me since I was little. Like I look
Really?
at pictures. Well, obviously my mom was dressing me at a point, but it's just in me. Like I knew I wanted to go to fashion school. That's where I hold my degree in. I knew that's what I wanted to do. I
Mm-hmm.
didn't want to study nothing else. Like
Yeah.
it's just in me. I knew for a fact. I don't know. I just have. They just thank the Lord. I don't know. I can't tell you, honey. It's been with me
Yeah,
all my life for as long as I know.
yeah,
And my mama tells me, and she can confirm that
yeah.
I just always been like that.
I
I
think
love the
certain
dress.
people, I know me personally, I just love to figure out, okay, what tag gonna wear today? Certain
What you thought I
occasions,
was gonna wear here?
it's just something extravagant like that. I
Well, I
said,
thank
I
you.
just look forward to it because it's like stuff that you wouldn't think go together. You just put it on, and I just be
I
like,
have fun with it. Like
dog.
I envision and I see it, and then there are some things I vision. I put it on, look a hot mess, and go back to the drawing board. But I have so many visions. Like I don't play when it comes to my clothes. I love fashion down. I eat, breathe, and sleep it.
Mm.
I've always been that person that laid her clothes out the night before.
Oh
Ironed
my
it. I
god.
actually, when you asked me to do this, I already knew I was wearing this. Had already sat it out in my room.
Oh my god.
I did bring two options in case I didn't like it because I don't try stuff on. I just visualize it in my
Oh
head.
wow.
So I did bring something else in case I didn't like it. But yeah, it worked out. And again, there are some things that don't work
Uh
out, but
huh.
I've always been fashion forward. My mom and daddy, like I said, they some small fashionistas, so I give them, they planted the seed and I
Yeah.
blossom.
Yeah. Yeah. You ordered it, showing up. You ordered it.
Yes.
So, how do you stay grounded in your faith while exploring new places and experiences?
I stay grounded in my faith by my daily walk. I start my day every single day with God.
Mm-hmm.
6 o'clock, my church in Columbia. We have 6 o'clock prayer. I was in my closet this morning. This ain't something I play about. Like I really do this. I live this, and I don't play about it.
Mm.
If I'm on vacation, I'm still waking up
Wow.
to give God the praise. And as the song says, you can't think without thinking. There's no way. So when my mind goes to places I don't want it to go, I just start thanking God, and I immediately get better. I play worship. I don't know how you can play worship music and not get better. That's just me.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
changes my mood. Like I said, I'm an
Ooh.
atmosphere shifter, changer, and I believe that. So I start my day every single day with God.
Mm-hmm.
That starts my day, and it sets the tone for my day.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah.
Now, are there things that happen throughout my day that take me back? For sure.
Mm-hmm.
I just go right back to that place
Right.
of thinking. And I get right back. And if I get off board, I go right back. Because it's constant.
Yeah.
It's tug and pull, tug and
Yeah.
pull. I'm not going to say all day is all peaches and rainbows. It is not.
Right.
But I start my day the same way every day.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm so serious about that.
Wow. Wow. And to know that it's for real and that it's not for show. That's really, I believe, what's helping people, especially young people, because they see so many people do this, on Sundays, and it's a whole nother way. But no, this is you every
This
single
is Sunday through Sunday.
day.
Every day. Got
Wow.
to. I don't know who I would be if I didn't. And I don't want to know who I
Mm.
am if I'm not. So I can't tell you. I
Wow.
got to start my day with him.
Wow.
Got to, for sure.
Wow.
Very intentional.
Yeah. So, how do you handle criticism from those who might not understand your lifestyle?
What criticism? I I'm delusional. I do not believe there's nobody that criticizes me, that hates me. That you can't. Why would you look at me? Look at them. Do you see the material? I am literally delusional. Nobody. What criticism? If they do it, they ain't giving it to me. You gotta take that up with God. I am literally delusional. But to answer your question, if there was, because again, I truthfully believe there is not. I'm literally delusional. I read a book. I don't remember when I read it. I'm a big reader. Love reading. The Subtle Art of Not Giving an F. You can fill in the blank. By Mark Manson. That book was so impactful in my life. Like people might think I'm just very nonchalant, don't care. I really don't. But that book helped me just to realize if it's not going to affect you 5 minutes from now, 5 days from now, 5 months, 5 years, why put that energy into it?
Mm-hmm.
So I literally have this rule for myself. I give myself 5 minutes to cry about it. And it's not literal 5 minutes. It might be 5 hours because I had some
Wow.
bad news this week and I was upset about it.
Wow.
And it was longer than 5 minutes. But it's not going to affect me down the road. Why am I going to put all that energy into it? I don't believe in wasting energy or giving it to things that
Wow.
don't deserve it. And this particular day, I think it was maybe Monday, like I said, I got some news I wasn't excited about. in shambles, crying and praying at the same time because I'm believing doing both. That night, God spoke to me as He do because I pray without ceasing. Me and God talk all day. I was like, you know what, God? You're creating a miracle for me. And I'm okay with that. Make the miracle. I was so upset earlier. But that night, the fact that I'm going to be a miracle, you think that much of me? Use me, God. Made the world of a difference. Mind shift. All I had to do was just change my perspective. That book helped me do things like that. Things that are not going to affect me in a long period of time, I'm not going to give it that much time. You can't live here. I'm not going to dwell on it. So to the criticism, you're not paying me, you're not doing anything for me.
Yeah.
Why should I give the
Yeah.
attention to it?
Yeah.
You ain't gonna get it from me.
Yeah.
You don't deserve it.
Yeah.
But God is using me for a miracle. That's what I'm focused on.
Mm-hmm.
And that is grand to me.
Yeah.
Like you think that of me to make a miracle out of me. And I can't wait to see what the miracle's gonna be. So
And I think mainly is because you're so confident in who you are and who God called you to be.
confidence.
Yeah. It's like you have a problem with me. That's your problem. Like I'm good.
I always gonna be good. Like
Yeah.
nobody can't beef with me
Yeah.
ever. That's insane. I wouldn't dare give you that attention. Say you think you too good, maybe I am. I don't care. I
Yeah.
literally don't. I'm not gonna invest any of that to that nonsense. Like people like match other people's energy. Not my thing. I would never match somebody's unwanted energy. That's crazy to me. You're either gonna match my energy or my energy's gonna leave.
Yeah.
That's it. There's no in between.
Yeah.
So to the criticism, if it's there, I wouldn't know because everybody loves me.
You're the definition of soft life.
Kept woman. Love it. Love that for me. Love that to me. Shout out to my
Literally.
husband. Love you down. Okay?
Literally,
that.
it's like everything about you is just so soft. Like it's like,
Thanks.
why am I worried? Like I have no.
I
need
do
to-
worry. Nah,
For 5
I'm
minutes.
human. Yeah,
For
I'm
5
human.
minutes.
I
Yeah.
do. I'm not gonna sit up here and fake the funk and act perfect because I am not by any means. I'm very flawed, but I don't give it a lot of time.
Yeah.
I can't live here.
Yeah, because it's dangerous.
Oh, very dangerous.
Yeah, to stay there for so long, you start believing, and you get to a place where you can't come back.
Oh,
From.
the devil is busy.
Yeah.
You gotta
Yeah.
confuse him though.
Yeah,
You gotta confuse him.
yeah.
I stay in my word.
Mm-hmm.
I say my word to him. Like that, they're my bullets.
Yeah,
I have to.
Yeah.
Because he is busy.
Mhm.
He wants somebody like me. I know he do. And he tries every day. You can't have me though. He can try. And he does try. And he keeps trying. But he gonna have to find somebody else to play with.
Yeah.
Never been the one. Not the two either, but never been the one. So
Definitely
you
not
have
a
to-
three.
Definitely not.
So this question isn't on there either, but it just sparked up. Yeah, let's talk about your husband because
Okay.
that whole when I tell you, I don't know if I was smiling. I think I was smiling more than you. The
Aw.
whole like the process of how like it was, how you waited and how it was everything you want. Let's talk about that because
Okay.
help the people.
2015. I keep going back the year. I'm telling you, pivotal year. I wrote a letter to my husband. Did not know who he was. I didn't meet my husband until 2017. Let me preface that.
Wow.
But 2015, I wrote a letter to my husband. I was able to give it to him on our wedding day. But anyways, I just wrote what I wanted him to be, what I thought he would be, things I thought we would do. I went to God. I was very specific. Like, listen, ask God what you want. Ask and knock. Like, I call it vain. I knew what I wanted, and I asked for it. I got that and some. Don't be afraid to ask for what you want, people. Hello. So, yeah, very specific what I wanted. Like I said, I just wrote that letter one day, and I kept it. I kept it in the Ziploc because I thought it might get old and just crumbled into pieces because I didn't know when he was going to come. So I folded it up, put it in the Ziploc, and I just always carried it in my purse. 2017, I met my husband. I had always seen him like on social media. Didn't even know we were social media friends at one point, like on Facebook. But I had already seen him, and I had told my best friend, I was like, "That's gonna be my husband. That's him." And she saw him at a wedding, and she was like, "Yeah, boo here." I was like, "You know what to do." And she did it. Because I always give her credit because she shot. She I don't know basketball terms, but she laid it up,
Yeah.
whatever.
She
She
shot
did,
a shot.
yeah, she did that, and she sent him for me, and yeah, we've been together ever since. So, met him in 2017. Um, we started dating in November of
Mm.
2017. We got engaged. We bought a house in 2020. Got engaged 23, June 23. Married September 23. We kept it for, was it 55 days? Nobody knew but my daddy. It was just
Yes.
us. And that's just the way we want to do. Like, people's like, oh, you did it to save money. No, we just want it to be us and God. Like,
Yeah.
that's just what we desired to do.
Hmm.
And then we had a surprise engagement. What they thought they was going to an engagement party, but it was a surprise reception on a yacht, and that's when we told everybody. Yeah, it's just been grand. Like, he is literally, I call him my little piece of heaven on earth, my God
Oh.
sent. Um, we waited till marriage to have
Hmm.
sex. I don't know if he doesn't mind me saying that, but we ain't screaming that. But yeah, he was literally everything I wanted. Like, when I tell you I do this, I do this. Like, I'm literally a woman of God.
Man.
I'm not out here thotting and bopping. That was not me. Like, I've always knew at the tender age of 13 that I would not have kids out of wedlock.
Wow.
And my sister did it, and I said I wouldn't do it. So
Yeah.
that just how it was. And I had somebody that was willing to do that for me, with me. And so that's how I knew all
Wow.
the knuckleheads before was not for
Ooh.
me, because they didn't want to do that, right?
Okay.
Um, Neither here nor there, but I had somebody that waited for me. Guys don't be doing that.
Mm-mm.
I love you, Chalmers. Thank you.
Yeah.
So it's so beautiful. Like, they say the honeymoon phase is gonna end,
Mm-mm.
and if it does, it does. But it's be 8 years this year. It's been
Wow.
beautiful. It's been so amazing. We're going into our next phase. We want to have children.
Yes.
So we've been very specific and intentional, but definitely God's way, God's timing. But yeah, our love story is beautiful. It's literally our favorite because
It is.
he's so amazing. He treats me so
That's
well.
so
And I
good.
love the way he loves God.
Ooh.
And I trust the way that he loves
Mhm.
God. So that's so important to me.
Mhm.
And yeah, he shows that to me every day.
Yeah.
Every day.
Yeah. I think everybody. I know I was. I was looking for this big, extravagant
If I had got
wedding.
married younger, you probably would have gotten that because you couldn't have
Really?
told me. Because, baby, I wanted the Tyler Perry. I wanted the angels hanging from the
That's what I'm
ceiling.
saying. I knew.
I wanted, but as I got older, my
Really?
desires just changed. I didn't want that. I didn't want that showmanship. It was
What?
so special. Our love was just so unique. I wanted to keep it between us and God. And my daddy
Wow.
just happened to be the one to marry us.
Wow.
And that's what we desired. Like, so we got on that one accord. But yeah, if you had
Mm.
caught me in my 20s, I got married in my 30s. So if you caught me in my
Mm.
20s, Tyler Perry, please hang the people from the ceiling. What insurance do I got to do to get that?
Oh.
For sure, I wanted all those things.
Mhm.
But as I got older, nah,
Yeah.
find things that are more important.
Yeah.
We went on a month vacation. So that was where we decided to put our funding at, for sure.
You
Had the
said a month.
house. hmm
30 days. Okay.
hmm
Yeah.
We honeymooned the whole September. We did a year later, last
Wow.
year.
And even in that, the way you did the marriage, it still just had tax approval. Like
Right.
the whole
It was still tack
movie,
coded,
like,
right?
it was like the movie
For
theme
sure.
and the news. I'm like,
It was definitely me coded,
yeah,
for sure.
it was the mature tat, but it was still tat.
So
And
my
then the
husband just went down the road.
yeah,
He was like, yeah, whatever.
and then the yacht. I said, yeah, that's tat. Yeah, this is the new
And I
tat.
wouldn't do it. You could give me $1 million right now. I wouldn't change it. I wouldn't do anything over. I might have had more outfit changes. But other than that, I wouldn't change a thing. I love the way we do. Our love story is literally my favorite, for sure.
So if you had to speak to to younger girls who are wanting the relationship, they see the relationship, but they want it, faster, and because I know you had to wait. You wrote a letter and didn't know how long. So what would you tell a young girl now that's wanting to be married, but wanting to do it the right way, but kind of hesitant on the waiting process?
Date God the way you want to date your husband.
Mm.
Spend that time. Be intimate with God how you want to be with your husband. If you can't spend time with God and get in your word and you expect him to give you a man of God, let me say that, then how you expect to have that your marriage if you can't get at the God right now? Like my single years were amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I love being single. I spent that time with God. Like
Mm-hmm.
I got to know. I always tell my husband, you know the best version of me, because I got to know myself.
Yeah.
I got to know who I truly was. Like my age 27 was so pivotal for me, and I was dating myself. I was dating God. I was in my word, still in my word, but I just got to know me, and I always prayed that God would make me the wife I need to be for my husband. Did I know who my husband was gonna be? But I was so intentional.
Mm-hmm.
Like God, and I say like I'm not a mother yet, but I'm asking God to make me and my husband the parents we need to be for our future kids
Mm-hmm.
right now. Like I believe in manifesting and speaking things into existence. Like I said, I wrote my letter to my husband in 2015, didn't meet him to 2017.
Mm-hmm.
I bought things for my office and my house in 2016. I didn't purchase a house till 2020.
Dog.
I believe in putting things in the atmosphere,
Mm-hmm.
and God will give it to me.
Mm-hmm.
Literally. Like I live a life of fulfillment.
Mm-hmm.
I desire to get all these things, so I speak these things.
Mm-hmm.
I affirm myself daily. You know how, like, the algorithm, when you're, like, scrolling, you
Right.
start to see the same thing over
Right.
and over.
Right.
Like, if you watch a video, if you like a video, you're like, I
Mm-hmm.
see more of it.
Right.
It's the same thing with life.
Mm.
What I put out, I get back.
Yeah.
So if I want something, I talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
I speak on it. I speak it into the atmosphere until it happens.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna come back to me. I
Yes.
truly believe in that. So manifestation. Spend that time in the
Mm-hmm.
Word. Ask God who you need, because who you want ain't always who you need. And be very sure. You might like you might have a type, but
Mm-hmm.
ask God who you need in your life.
Yeah.
Spend that time with Him, but date God how you want to date your future spouse.
Yeah.
For sure.
That's good. Because I know a lot of people are looking for somebody that, brings them joy, but the person isn't even happy themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So how you going to look for something you don't know what to look for? You have to be these things in order to look for these things. You have to know what you're looking for.
Mm-hmm.
So that's good. That's really
And
good.
be all the things that you're asking for too. That was important to me too. Like I knew I wanted a man that didn't have kids.
Mm-hmm.
As I got later in life, I was like, Lord, I'm gonna be a stepmama. I was gonna be a good one, but I was convinced I was gonna be a stepmama. But that's not what I wanted.
Ooh.
I wanted somebody that had a college degree. I had a college degree. That was just important to me.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I got all those things. I wrote it down specifically. 6 feet, check.
Mm-hmm.
Fine, check.
Yes.
Okay, man of God, check. Okay, degree, check. No
Yeah.
kids, check. Like literally, write your list. Nothing's too shallow.
Yeah.
Call it shallow if you want, but this is my
Yeah.
list.
Yeah.
Okay, this is my man.
Yeah.
My man, my man, my man. That's mine. Okay.
Yeah.
So speak it what you want. You
Mhm.
can have it. You can
Yeah.
have all those things. You
Yeah.
really can.
Yeah.
Ask God for it
Yeah.
and be faithful to Him.
Yes. And also don't be scared to wait. Don't get weary while you're waiting.
Please
And
don't.
don't settle.
And though it tarry, it won't tarry long.
Yeah,
That's what the
yeah.
words say.
Yeah. And definitely don't settle. Because I know you were saying you were getting to the point where you was like, you're going to be a stepmom. But no, that wasn't what you asked for.
Nope. And if you got a question about waiting, I can talk to y'all about it. I got a book for you too, because I told you I like to read. I'm a reader. Got something for you. So.
Yeah. It's like I heard a story on Facebook. This family went to a restaurant and they ordered some food that had like these special instructions. And they came in first. And then these people came in after them and ordered some food, but they got their food first. And so they were a little upset. And they asked the waiter, they said, well, we came first. So why didn't we get our food first? He said, oh, they just ordered something simple. They just ordered what is always
handmade
made
for you.
Yeah, they said, but what you ordered, we had to do it no salt. We had to cook it at extra length, so it's gonna take a while, but it's gonna be just like you asked it to be.
And that's what I got.
Yeah,
But, ironically, why do we do that? When somebody get their food for us, we always be like, now, we was here first.
Yeah.
So funny. Why we do that?
I mean, because I'm here first.
Like, keep your eyes on your own plate.
Ooh,
Keep your eyes on your own plate.
that's good.
And speaking of plates, when you order at Applebee's and the sizzling come out, that's how I want my man to look at me. When everybody be walking, everybody be looking like, that thing sizzling.
And smoking, they be like, ooh, what they got?
That's how you want your man to look at you. Like that plate that's sizzling, okay?
Oh my God. So, what are some ways you incorporate your faith into your everyday activities and interactions?
As I told you, every day I start with God. I gotta work on ending my day with God. I gotta do better at that because I be ending my day with TikTok. I gotta work on ending my day with God. But I start my day every single day. Like I be praying without ceasing. And I'm at home. It be just me and them walls. So I don't be talking out loud, but I be talking to God all the time. Whatever. I be asking God what I should eat for lunch today. Like
Mm.
it's just a relationship. Like our rapport, we literally best friends. We so locked in.
Yeah.
Like I be like, God, what should I eat today?
Yeah.
I just incorporate him in every
Yeah.
single thing I do. Um, Tuesday, my husband walked in. He was frustrated. I know my man's frustrated. And I was like, the reason why he was frustrated, he had a flat tire, but he was home an hour later than he normally gets. When he gets home, he wanted to shower, rest, relax, all that good stuff. And so he came in frustrated. He had to go get something for his flat tire. He came back, he had the wrong thing. Had to go back out. So he was just real frustrated. I said, frustration, you can't live here. I knew once he got all that done, he was going to immediately go take a shower. So I went in, I wrote him a scripture. I set the
Mm.
atmosphere. I prayed over that shower. I put him on some gospel music. I had to change his mood. So interactions every single day. Frustration, you can't live here. That's not who he is. He doesn't desire to be frustrated. I don't want to be frustrated. Don't take your frustration out on me. So I got to change the atmosphere. I truly believe in being an atmosphere shifter. And he came down. He was like, I'm so thankful for that note. Like, thank you. Just a simple reminder. Just take a moment. Speak to God. He's around you. Calm down. Remove that out your nervous system. Because, again, frustration can't live here. But it's just little things like that. Every single thing I go to God for. Everything.
You are really doing this.
Really am.
Like,
Like, I'm true to this.
I knew that you were like deep because I never forget. Coming to church every time you have your pink Bible bag.
And my Bible was out. I still have it, but I carry it in the car. Like
Yeah.
every car I've ever had, my Bible rides with me.
Mm-hmm.
I believe in carrying my weapon with me. That's my
Yeah.
weapon of choice. My Bible's always been with me. Still in the
Yeah.
car now.
Yeah. But to know like how deep you're going, like the whole script.
I don't blame.
Tat, you doing this?
I don't blame. I don't know what I would be if I didn't, and I don't want to know. Okay, I have to. I choose. It's literally a daily choice.
Wow.
It's a choice. I don't have to, right?
Yeah.
I could be disobedient. I could. I don't feel like waking up today. I could. I just don't.
Mm-hmm.
I just really don't.
Yeah.
Because I've been this way for a long time too. So it's very a lot of things are out of habit, right? But I always ask God for a fresh anointing, because habits die hard.
Mm-hmm.
I can get complacent. I can read my Bible with one eye open, right? But I ask for a fresh anointing every
Yeah.
single day.
Yeah. I believe your marriage is gonna like be the example for a lot of people
I heard that.
because like just hearing like how you just stuff you see in movies. Like I've never heard anybody say
Listen,
to the
I dreamed it, now I real lifed it.
wow.
That's real. I know God made that man for me. I'm so thankful for him. He's really, he's great. I'm great. He's great. We're great. Greater.
This is good. I didn't. Wow. I feel like an old man. I just didn't know that it was just like. This is so good.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, what advice? And we're going to wrap it up. What advice would you give to a young girl who looks up to you about maintaining their faith in today's world?
I'm flattered if you look up to me, but look up even higher and look up to God.
Mm-hmm.
I like I said, I like to inspire, but I'm just a little small fragment. Look up to God.
Mm-hmm.
Stay in your word. If you don't know how to get in your word, reach out to me. I'll help you get into your word. That's all I can say. I know it's people like, well, where do I start? How do I start? Just open a book.
Mm-hmm.
That's start. Just go to church.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know where to go. I'll help you find a church. Like, I'll never forget. I used to work in retail, and I had a young man come to the store. And, I know everybody has their people just tell me their stories. For sure, we do have people that just open up their hearts so you ain't never met them. But this was one of those scenarios. I had a young guy. He was telling me about things he had going on. I said, just go to church. That's all I had for him. I ain't know. He was a little young boy. Just go to church. Like, go lay it at the altar. That's all I had for him. And he took it, and then he came back some weeks later. He was like, I want you to know I went to church. I was like, I don't know where that boy is right now. This was over 10 years ago, I know for a fact. But start somewhere. Put your feet in the door at church. And I know people think church folks are judgmental. They are.
Mm-hmm.
You got to not worry about that. Stay in your word. Open your Bible at least. Ask to hear from God. Spend some time for Him. You're only gonna get out of what you put in it, right? So put some time. And the people that say they don't have time, I don't believe it.
Right.
If you gotta wake up an extra 30 minutes earlier, gotta go extra 30 minutes later, like I tell my friends, put a sign on the door to tell your children you need 10 minutes. Do it in the car. We drive places. Don't put on the radio. When you go get your nails done, it's like the time is there. You gotta see it.
Yeah.
You gotta make room for it. Especially if you want blessings, it ain't gonna come to it. Make room for what it is you want to receive, or you ain't gonna get it.
Yeah. It's almost like, how bad do you want it? At the end of the day,
How do you want it?
what are you willing to give up to receive?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Just reevaluate yourself. For sure. For sure.
So if you could give advice to younger Tat, let's see, you're 35 now. So what about 15-year-old, that era? What advice would you give to Tat?
15 is when I came to Christ. Just thought
Wow.
it is. It's when I came to Christ. But the advice I would give myself would be do it anyway. Do it scared. You want to live in fear, you want to live in fulfillment. Do it scared. Literally do it anyway. Don't worry about what people are going to say. They talked about Jesus. They're going to talk about you. They're going to talk about you when you're up. They're going to talk about you when you're down. They're going to talk about you when you're skinny. They're going to talk about you when you're fat. They're going to talk about you when you're dressed to the nines. They're going to talk about you when you're not. They're going to talk. Give them something to talk about, okay? Just do it anyways. You got to block out the haters, the naysayers, the criticism that comes along with it. New levels, new devils.
Yeah.
Do it anyway. And that's what I would tell myself.
That's good.
Do it anyways.
That's good. Tat, I'm so happy that you decided to join me.
Thank you for having me.
No
Literally an
problem.
honor. Thank you.
No problem. All right, Faith and Fun family.
Let me interrupt,
Oh,
if I may.
if you may, go ahead.
Can I just tell you that I'm so proud of you?
Tat.
We need to tell the people about our journey. Like, me
yeah.
and man used to go to gospel concerts.
We did.
We used to tour ourselves.
We did.
We had an era, man, where we was going to every, and mind you, I still go to a lot of them, but we had an era. You send me a concert, let's get the tickets. I send you one. We had
did.
our thing.
And you know what? To be honest, there was a time I needed someone the most.
We were locked in.
Yeah, and
we
you
were
didn't
locked
know
in.
what that outlet was. It meant
I
for
had a
me.
ball with you. We had a
Yeah.
time. I used to love praising God with you.
We went to see Brianna.
We seen a lot of people.
We went to see a lot of people.
We go to find a church somewhere. But yeah, but I want to just give you your physical flowers. I'm so I don't know if this is cheesy. But I'm shout out to you.
Oh, Tat.
Like, shout out to you. What you're doing is so amazing. You're where you're supposed to be. You are exactly where you're supposed to be. And I just want you to keep striving.
Yeah.
Keep doing what it is you're doing. I think this is so amazing. I can't wait to see the doors that open up for you. I can't wait to see what your yes and your amen is going to bring you. It's so beautiful. And like I said, I've known you all your life.
Yeah.
So just to watch where you are now,
Yeah.
I'm so excited for you, so happy
Wow.
for you, so proud of you. And I
Thank
love you
you.
dearly.
I
Like,
love you
truthfully
too.
love you. Love you.
Thank you so much.
Now you can wrap it up.
Yeah, because I'm not going to cry.
Okay,
I'm
don't
not
cry.
crying. So, Faith and Fun family, thank you so much for joining us on another episode. We'll see you next Sunday.